Charlie Gasparino is here right now. You know, this isn't over, as you've been hearing from a lot of people, but quite literally because there are a lot of other investigations going on concurrently.
I thought maybe we'd get some tip of the hat in this thing, and I still have to read it. I'm just going through pieces of it on what's going on in the Southern District of New York.
That's the big one, right?
Yeah, because that's the one that really involves his business practices and some of the stuff that Michael Cohen, you know, his former counsel, his former hatchet man, lawyer, fixer, whatever you want to call him.
And that was the stuff that Mueller and his team jettisoned to them. As they
kind of gave it to them while they focus on this. And I just wonder if any of that has been redacted, what he jettisoned. And this is what will come out, I think, in the days and weeks ahead, just how serious that probe is. Because that probe is more about his business dealings. Deutsche Bank lent money that came from different places. Where did the money come from? Did it come from Russia? Did it get funneled through Deutsche Bank to the Trump organization for real estate or for whatever?
Can they go after, at that level, a sitting president?
Yes. That doesn't mean they can indict him.
Right.
I mean, listen, we're learning a lot about
a lot of this stuff would happen after he were to leave office, if it even happened.
Yeah, and some of it may be tied up in statute of limitations. What I find fascinating about the report, just based on what I'm reading, it's a classic white-collar Wall Street crime report. You know, the level. Listen, people are like conflating collusion and illegalities and all. There's no doubt that there was some collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign. The Russians presented evidence to the Trump campaign. They kind of wanted it. You know, whether they accepted it or not is a question. They didn't pay for it. That's where you get into problems. When you pay for somebody to do something illegal, if you knowingly help them do the illegal thing, that's where you get in the ringer. Not if.
But a far bigger issue. I mean, if you think of the people who've been indicted or going off to jail. Most of it's for lying to
That's the whole thing.
And very little to do with Russia per se. Having said that, though, I'm wondering, what do your money guys tell you about, you know, the markets today? I was saying bringing a sigh of relief between obviously the successful IPOs today and relief that maybe this thing is going away. It's not a given it goes away, right?
No, the money guys I talked to never thought that collusion was going to be proven. It's really hard. And by the way, as soon as Roger Stone, they never got him on really collusion, right? His former Trump campaign aide. Roger was nailed for lying about something that may or may not.
Manafort business dealings that go back decades.
Right. So as soon as you saw, particularly Roger, I think most people thought this collusion is baloney. The obstruction, again, a hard case to prove, but more obviously more evidence there. Clearly tell.
But do they think we're this in New York and I think in Norfolk, Virginia, and another court?
They think it's right up there, Trump Tower. Everybody thought it's been bandied about. People close to Donald Trump have told him that. I know that when Donald Trump about a year ago.
Remember, Chris Christie had argued that
absolutely
that's a far bigger worry.
But even people told Trump. Remember, Trump about a year ago said this thing is over. I'm not going to get indicted. He actually said that there's no collusion. My lawyers are telling me this. It's when Ty Cobb, before Rudy came on, when Ty Cobb was his lawyer. They said, you know, don't count your chickens before they hatch, Don. They're going to look at your business dealings, and that's a far, you know, that stuff could get really nasty because, you know, Donald Trump's business dealings were never really examined that heavily. I mean, his taxes and things of that nature. No one really got into his charitable contributions, if there were any.
But that had nothing to do, and has nothing to do with Russian collusion. Well, the irony will be that the thing he would still have to worry about is stuff that has nothing to do with Russia.
Yeah, that he opened the Russian collusion thing and the very stupid act of firing James Comey when he did. Very dumb. Steve Bannon, it's not just me who said this. Steve Bannon said it. It was absurdly dumb because he should have fired him when everybody said to fire him. Day one. You know, this is James Comey. You know, he didn't exactly handle himself great during the campaign. Get rid of him. Put in anybody you want there. Instead, he kept him because he thought, hey, this guy helped me win the election. That's why he kept him, let's face it.
Does anyone you talk to, though, I always see Wall Street just likes, you know, if it's divided government, they love that. They can deal with that. But it also means that nothing gets done, period.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think people are going to digest this report. They're going to watch the Southern District. But they're going to digest this report to see how much political damage it does on the president. And I think it will have some political damage. I don't know why people around here are doing cartwheels like this is exonerated.
Well, you could just as much say about those on other networks. Because I watch them all. It's like watching a funeral at some of these other networks.
That's not right.
There's no middle ground here. So what is your sense of where this goes?
Well, the middle ground here is we have a very ethically challenged president who did not commit a crime involving dealing with colluding with Russia. who did not commit a crime, or there wasn't enough evidence to show a crime about him obstructing whatever investigation they were doing, and has still a liability involving what's up there, naming Trump Tower, with down
But
there.
couldn't you also say the Democrats who seize on this, for whatever reasons, maybe Nancy Pelosi was right a couple of days ago when she was saying we focus and should be focusing on kitchen table issues?
Yeah, probably. That's probably a smart thing. But remember, people don't like sleaze in the White House. And there's some...
We've dealt with it before.
Yeah, Nixon, Clinton. The economy was doing great on the Clinton.
Fillmore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Nixon gets thrown out. The economy wasn't doing so well.
Clinton didn't, because the economy was.
And the economy's pretty good now, so maybe that should help.
I think that's the backdrop. All right, thank you, buddy, very, very much.